This is John Black, super chemist. I think this is number part 5. Are trans people really trans? And I was talking about bisexuality, how back in the day when we started using that term, we understood there was a spectrum of sexuality. Everybody's on a different, you might be straight and just a little bit, like say me, I'm a guy. I might be a little, I might be mainly straight, but I like dudes a little bit, or I might be, half and half. I like dudes just as much as chicks, but I'm somewhere on this spectrum, right? We understood that and we accepted it, you know what I mean? But you know what we didn't do? We didn't make a million boxes to put us all into on the spectrum. Like this person here, we'll talk about men, right? He is totally straight, so we're going to call him straight and totally gay over here. But if he's a little bit off of the gay part, we're going to call him something else. And if he's more off of the gay part, we're going to call him something else, and something else, something else. We'll have 100 names. And then when he gets in the middle, he'll have a name. And then on the other side, where he likes women better, we'll give different names, 100 different names, a billion names. And then every time we walk up to a person and they say, hello, sir, like if someone come up to me and said, hello, sir, I would have to stop the conversation, say, listen, everyone, you need to understand where I am on the bisexuality spectrum. You need to know that I am called this. This is what you called it. And what that means is that I like women more, I like men more, I like this, and I'm right here. Yeah, we didn't do that. You know why? Because people would be like, you're crazy. I don't care about where you're at on the spectrum. I just want to get through my day, dude. I was just asking you what time it was. You know what I mean? I don't want to get into this big conversation, man. I don't give a crap about you. But with unlimited genders, okay, we have unlimited boxes to divide us up into, right? Like the bisexual thing, well, there's another box that we can put people into. With genders, that, because you're splitting it up into these 100 million different genders, even though they're meaningless, okay? And, I used to say, and I'm going to bring up a Amir Odin quote, okay? He's the black guy, the gay guy that I did, the last few videos I did people on YouTube talking about drag queens and books and porn in school and stuff like that. But I've said the same exact thing as him, that these genders they exist. You know what I mean? Like that dude that's feminine, right? Yeah, he's on a gender line somewhere, blah blah blah. But it's really immaterial though, because he's still a guy. He's just a femme guy. Where he's at on that spectrum is not important. Just like being on the spectrum of bisexuality, I don't care where you're at on the spectrum. You know what I mean? I don't even care if you're on the spectrum. You know what I mean? So it's the same way with gender. It's unimportant where you're on. It doesn't change anything really. All it does is describe what you like. You might be a dude and you like playing with baby dolls, or you might be a girl and like trucks. Playing with trucks and cars, you know what I mean? So what? That doesn't mean like you have to build another whole box for everybody in the world because they have one, I'm slightly more feminine than this person. I'm slightly more masculine than this person. So there's another box and another box and another box and another box. It's funny how inclusion they always say it's inclusive, but all they do, like inclusion means that we're all in one box. We're all Americans. If they were inclusive, they'd be like, hey, we're Americans, there's one box. But they don't want everyone in one box, do they? They say they want us all to be in one box, but all they do is categorize us into other boxes. You don't find that weird? That's not doublespeak to you? But anyways, yeah, so I kept saying it doesn't mean anything, these genders, you know what I mean? Yes, they are there, you are more whatever, but it doesn't really mean anything in the long run, like in life or whatever. just means you are that. So what? You know what I mean? It'd be like me being in the middle of the bisexuality spectrum. Well, yeah, so what? I'm there. It doesn't change anything in my life. I'm going to still do whatever I do. Nothing's changing, you know. But Amir Odom says something very that I like, because he really condensed down. Gender is just personality. That's how it is. If you like cars, well, that's your personality. But they want to make it into a gender. What if you're a feminine boy? Why can't you just be a feminine boy? Why can't you just be yourself? That would be inclusion, right? You just be yourself. You could just be a femme boy. Don't matter. You know why? Because you're an American, and all Americans are in one box. That's inclusivity. That's tolerance. Okay, they ain't teaching that though. No, they ain't teaching that. They're teaching you that if you're a feminine man or boy, then that's dirty and disgusting. You need to get a sex change. You know what I mean? And they always trick the parents. They'll just tell them, hey, you know, you got two choices here. Either give your gay kid a sex change and puberty blockers and chop off his balls and his dick, or and he'll be happy when you do that to him, or he'll commit suicide. So do you want a dead kid, or do you want a gay kid that we chopped off his balls and made him normal, made him into a girl? Because that's how normal people are. You know, gay people are dirty and disgusting. You don't want your kid to do that. That's what That's what their tolerance is. That's what their inclusivity is. Let's put them into 10,000 boxes. How is that inclusive if they're putting everybody? Their whole thing is putting people into boxes. You know, and you say that this isn't happening. They're not being brainwashed. You know when someone's brainwashed, because when they say the most ludicrous, like the sky is blue. I mean, the sky is green and grass is usually blue, and if they're saying crazy stuff, let's just see what the people are saying that are on this side. They're not normalizing stuff. Why are we arguing now? You have people that believe men and women are the same physically. Like, are you insane? You have to be brainwashed to believe this. You can't believe that men and women are like physically the same. That's insane. Trans women are if you get a sex change and you become a trans woman, then you are literally a woman. Like, literally the definition of a trans woman is a biological man who believes that they're a woman. It's like, and anyone, and what's funny is they argue, I don't know what a woman is. No one knows what a woman is. You have half the government says they don't know what a woman is. Only you can define yourself as a woman or not. No, you can't define anyone else, and they don't know what the definition is. I mean, it's an adult human with XX chromosomes. It's that simple. It's not, they say, nope. That ain't the correct definition. Okay? And then they use circular reasoning in their definition, because they say, well, a woman is someone who identifies as a woman. That's like saying a car is a car. What's a car? Oh, a car is a car. What's a woman? Oh, a woman is a woman. You can't do that. That's circular. You're not answering the question. You can't use the definition, the word, in your definition. You can't define car and use the word car in your definition, because that's the whole point of defining car. We don't know what it is. That's why you define it. So you can't put the word car in the definition, right? That's why I'm looking at the dictionary. I look for a car. I don't know what a car, I don't know what the definition is, right? So you can't use that word in the definition, right? That's circular. You know that you're brainwashed, okay? And if this is one or two things, but I got a list here. This is just a tip of the iceberg when we're talking about brainwashed. Anyone can identify as a woman. Anyone. Even if you're a 60-year-old man who raped 30 women. You've never claimed that you were trans. You never tried to be trans. You don't, and today you don't try to be trans. You don't have to try to do anything to be a woman. And then you ask, can I go into this woman's prison? And everyone is like, yep, because he identified himself as a woman. He's 6'4", 250 pounds, but yeah, he identifies as a woman, so that's all right. Let's put him into the... That's brainwashing. Come on. That wouldn't happen. Who's telling these people this stuff? Who do you think's telling them? Yeah, it's the schools. And then, now, anyone can identify as a woman, and you think, oh, well, no, that's not going to... people are like, well, what if they identify as an animal or a plant or an inanimate object? Oh, that's never going to happen. That's never good. That's stupid. Yeah, now you got people identifying as animals, plants, and inanimate objects. You literally have people taking their children to vets, a veterinarian, a dog doctor, an animal doctor, taking their child, their human child, to them. So there's actually a woman who's trying to sue one of the doctors because he wouldn't give the kid a physical because the kid identifies as a dog. Okay? And the teacher has to, this kid that identifies as a dog, when he's at school, the teacher has to use his dog pronouns and let him be a dog, and all the little kids, the kid that thinks he's a dog can chase him around and pretend to pee on them and scratch them and do all this crap like he's a dog or a cat or whatever. And no one's allowed to, they have to endure this. Same way with inanimate objects and plants. It's like they're doing it right now. There's literally a pronoun now, I forget what they call it, but it's called a pronoun that you can't pronounce. Like it's not possible with our vocal cords, human vocal cords, to make the sounds to say this pronoun out loud. And that's what their pronoun is. The pronoun is a pronoun that they can't tell anyone what it is because we don't have vocal cords to speak it. Well, then why do you have it then? Why do you use that pronoun? Oh, I get it, to screw with people. You're a nut job. Biological men biological men, meaning trans women, that identify as trans women, right? They think that you can literally breastfeed. A man that has a sex change can breastfeed their baby, and that's healthy, even though they're taking all these hormones and other weird drugs. Trans woman who's a biological man can get periods, have PMS pains, get pregnant. Men can get pregnant, they think. All they have to do is believe they're a woman. This isn't brainwashing. Really? Come on, if this isn't brainwashing, what is, man? You think that just because you had a sex change operation, you grew a uterus or something? I don't get it. No. And then now, what is change? What is they're bringing up? Children can fall in love. Pedophile isn't a pedophile. No, it's a MAP, a minor attracted person, and they have actual porn and sex sites, sex gear in grade school classes, dildos, vibes, butt plugs, sex swings, polyamory, pansexual, bisexual, fetish, group sex, pedophilia. They're teaching it all. And yeah, I'm going to get into them videos soon here. And I'll show you. They tell parents, and with this trans thing, I already said that. They tell the parents, if you don't get the sex change, your gay kid's going to kill himself because they ain't gay. They're just really trans. But they are creating trans. Also, I wanted to bring up, why do people think that these trans people, yes, in the 80s, the 90s, before that, if you were trans, yeah, people called you names. Maybe they'd drive by and they'd throw, they'd have a drink from Wendy's or whatever and throw it out at them, you know what I mean? But after 2000, all that crap went away. So it's been like 25 years now, a quarter of a century, okay? And And if that's not true, why isn't it on the news? I never hear any on the news about these suicides, these millions of trans people committing suicide. Never once.